And welcome to the channel, everybody. I am Aesop Grimm, and this is the intro video for my next playthrough. It's going to be The Forest, and we're doing this in October of 2024, so happy Halloween. By way of an abridged intro video, because I did this last year also right around this time, this game is at heart a survival game, but it's got horror elements. This game was kind of, as far as I know, kind of groundbreaking because survival games don't typically do very much with storyline. They're, as you could imagine, right? They throw you into harsh conditions and tell you go work it out. So they're more about gameplay. But The Forest, as far as I know, was the first game that really took its time to craft a narrative and a backstory that you're a mystery that you're working on. But there's a lot of scary elements. This is a scary kind of game. It fits into that genre. There are jump scare moments. There's a lot of blood and gore. There's stuff that would it's meant to shock you, sort of. So if you want to know more, I would encourage you to look up The Forest, ESRB, and The Forest, Common Sense Media. Those two sites will give you a better breakdown, but I think I've given you enough to know whether or not this is the kind of game that you would want to watch for yourself or whether you want your kids to see it. So let's move on to what the plan is here. I was originally going to try and stream this. I thought it was a perfect game for streaming, and I could maybe get some help from people, from viewers that showed up in live time, right, in real time. But I went back and took a look at I just did the first video earlier today, and I'm not happy with the video quality of the stream. So I checked it both on YouTube and on Rumble, and just not a fan. So I'm going to try and do an edited series here, which is a lot more work on my part and might just completely blow up my intended approach here. So let me give you a little bit of understanding what I'm going for. Most people who play this game, for one thing, it's an old game, 2014. The sequel's already been out for a year, and I want to play the sequel. It's called Sons of the Forest. But I have this game already. I played it a little bit last year about this time, and I spent all my time building the base, and by the time I was done building the base, the island had escalated to such a level I didn't really know how to take down the enemies. I barely did any cave exploring at all, and so as I was saying, most people who play this game nowadays, they're really focused on the base building and the defense against the enemies. What I'm doing is I want to kind of role play light this game a little bit, and I'm focusing on uncovering all of the clues to first of all find our son with a sense of urgency, right? You'll see in the opening, our son gets kidnapped and we need to go find him. And to do that, we've got to uncover clues as to how this island works and where these facilities might be. And that, at the same time, is also going to uncover the history of the island and give us the storyline of how this island got to be the way that it is. And that's the plan, is to get that knocked out. It's really to set up a Sons of the Forest playthrough. So because I already owned the game and I thought the story was intriguing, I wanted to go ahead and take a look at it. So that's the plan here. Now, on top of that, for you guys to kind of understand, you need to understand how I tick internally. I'm really not very much into Halloween. I never have been. I didn't grow up celebrating Halloween. I didn't do trick-or-treating. If we went anywhere, I went to my church. You know, I did like a trunk or treat. I wasn't into celebrating the Day of the Dead or ghosts or ghouls or goblins or demons. I'm not into wearing the costumes or all the parties that get going. I'm not into Devil's Night Out, of course, like Detroit or anything like that. The madness and mayhem and fire. It's just none of that stuff appeals to me at all. But what I am into is Americana and nostalgia. I just kind of like that stuff. Maybe I've gotten to that age. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I enjoy the feel that certain months and holidays bring with them. So I want to get this done in the month of October, because once we get out of October and into November, we're talking Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I have both of those in my mind and heart. Those two things are linked, and that's a radically different feel from Halloween. I don't want to be playing this game in November. I want to move on to something else, something that I might even describe as more wholesome. I don't know. Well, it might not be. Like, it could be Crusader Kings 3. That's that game puts you in some of the worst positions where you have to choose between some awful things. But you get the idea, right? I want to be done with this in October, and with all of the recording and the editing that this might take, I don't know if I can do it, but we're going to give it a shot. I was that unhappy with the stream quality, which I think the stream environment would have been perfect, because then we could play for 3, 4, 5 hours, you know. But I didn't like that quality at all. So a lot more work on my end, and we'll see if we can make it happen. And I think that's where I'll wrap it up. We're at about 6 minutes 20 seconds. You know what we're doing. You know what my mindset is. You know what our goals are, and we'll see. Oh! I wanted to tell you, I do have mods. I only learned about this a couple days ago, and it started off with me trying to figure out how the heck do I work this zipline thing without all of my logs getting blasted to Kingdom Come all over the place due to the physics engine. So I don't have very many mods loaded. I have I can't remember the name of it, guys, but I have a zipline mod that automatically stores your logs in log holders as long as they're within, I think, a 20-foot radius of that zipline. That's the first one I got. The second one I have that's going is called FAR LOD, and that one is going to help with pop-in. It doesn't fix it completely, but it does help quite a bit, just by allowing the game to render out to further distances. And the last mod I have is a map mod that I'm going to self-limit myself on. I don't remember what it's called, but it is in essence the forest interactive map that you can find on the internet. It comes with a whole bunch of filters that you can enable or disable that shows you where all kinds of stuff is. The thing is that I know where I want to go. We're going to build on an island. I actually haven't practiced on this island very much. I used a different island. This was a last second change to the island that I want to go to, so I'm not real familiar with how to get to it. So at the beginning of the game, I want to be able to bring that map up and orient myself and go find the island. But after that, to the greatest extent possible, I might make an exception here or there, but I don't want to touch that map until I've gotten the in-game map. And even then, whenever I use the map, there's an awful lot on it that I'm going to have disabled. I really just want to know where the caves are. So that's how we're going to play it. I've not really played very much. I don't have much experience past the early games, so this will be an adventure. But that's how we're going to approach things. So again, I'm Aesop Grimm. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw. More importantly, I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. And I'll see you in the next episode where the story begins.